27과 어디가 아프십니까? 대화 1.
투안 씨, 걷는 게 왜 그래요? 발목이 좀 아파요. 발목을 삔 거 아니에요? 빨리 병원에 가보세요. 이 근처에 병원이 있어요? 지하철역 근처에 정형외과가 있어요. 내일 아침에도 아프면 가볼게요.
대화 2.
어디가 아프십니까? 어제 계단에서 넘어져서 발목을 다쳤어요. 어디 봅시다. 여기를 누르면 어떻습니까? 아, 너무 아파요. 발목을 삐었네요. 먹는 약과 파스를 처방해 드리겠습니다. 그런데 발목을 삐었을 때는 많이 걷지 말고 앉아서 쉬어야 합니다. 그리고 찜질을 해주는 것이 좋습니다. 네, 알겠습니다.
27과 EPSTOPIK 듣기 1에서 3번. 다음 그림을 보고 알맞은 대답을 고르십시오. 1번. 이 사람은 어디에 가야 합니까?
1. 내과에 가야 합니다. 2. 치과에 가야 합니다. 3. 피부과에 가야 합니다. 4. 산부인과에 가야 합니다.
2번.
이 사람은 무엇을 합니까? 1.
연고를 바릅니다.
2.
약을 먹습니다.
3.
소독을 합니다.
4.
파스를 붙입니다. 3번. 이 사람은 무엇을 했습니까?
1. 깁스를 했습니다. 2. 수술했습니다. 3. 주사를 맞았습니다. 4. 붕대를 감았습니다.
4에서 5번. 하나의 이야기를 듣고 2개의 질문에 대답하십시오. 어떻게 오셨습니까?
넘어져서 발목을 삐었어요.
어디 봅시다. 여기가 아픕니까?
아, 네.
발목에 파스를 붙이시고 많이 걷지 마세요. 그리고 집에서 찜질을 하셔야 됩니다.
Chapter 27, Grammar 1. 으면 is a way to say if or when in Korean. It's translated as if here, like if you feel cold, but it can also be used as when, as in when you catch a cold, blah blah blah. So keep that in mind. Of course, it follows the consonant vowel rule because opposites attract. So, if you want to say, it's delicious, change 맛있다 to if it's delicious, 맛있으면, and if you want to say, if it's spicy from 맵다, then change it to 매우면. Right, got it? 면 means if. This is important. What kind of food do you like? Do you like spicy food? I hope so, because lots of dishes in Korea are spicy. But if you cannot eat very spicy food, you could use this, 매우면, and then say, I can't eat it, right? In other words, this is used as a conditional clause. It can combine with both adjectives and verbs. Consonant, 으면, to read, 읽다. If you read, 읽으면. vowel, consonant, lil. 면. To meet, 만나다. If you meet, 만나면. To live, 살다. If you live, 살면. You can say if to make a conditional clause. In other words, to say when to do something or why to do it. Let's see some examples in conversation. We're also talking about health. If you come to Korea, it's important to stay healthy, or if not, to know what to do and how to visit a doctor. So let's listen carefully.
아이가 어제부터 열이 많이 나요. 아이가 아프면 소아과에 가보세요.
This child has had a high fever since yesterday. If your child is sick, go to a pediatrician. Okay, so where's the 면 in this conversation? Can you find it? Right. Who is hurt? The child. How does it say? The child is sick. If your child is sick. 아이가 아프면. Right. You got it. Now let's hear another example and we will find out what to do to get healthy.
감기에 걸렸어요. 약을 먹으면 괜찮아질 거예요. 이 약을 드세요.
I got a cold. You will be okay if you take medicine. Take this medicine. Great. So we learned how to use 면 with action verbs like 먹으면, if you eat. And I like to say this, kind of joke. 라면 먹어요. Because if it's ramen, you should eat it. That's one of my favorite foods. Okay, moving on. When combined with the irregular verb, such as to be cold, to be hot, and to be spicy, it is used in the form of 추우면, 더우면, 매우면. So let's see a few more examples.
더우면 에어컨을 켜세요.
If it is hot, turn on the air conditioner. Now, it says 더우면, and there's no subject. So, if it's hot, how do you know? Yeah, you. If you think it's hot, if you feel hot, turn on the air conditioner. That's so polite, isn't it? Now, let's hear another example.
사무실이 춥네요. 추우면 문을 닫을까요?
The office is cold. If it is cold, should I close the door? Great. We can see someone said, it's cold in here. And the other person answered, if you feel cold, please, would you go ahead and close the door? Or they could be saying, oh, if you're cold, should I close the door? So it's a way to talk about when to do something, like if it's hot or if it's cold. How about your country? Do you have 4 seasons? How's the weather? Yeah, in Korea, the weather is very hot in the summer and cold in the winter, so you will experience this. Let's hear one more with food. Chapter 27, Grammar 2. Now, we have already learned 입니다 at the first grammar lesson. Remember that? Which is the formal form of 이다, the identity be verb. So, if you want to say another verb with a formal ending, here's what you do. You just add 입니다 or 씁니다. And what's the difference? Opposites? Actually, be careful with this. This is a little bit different. Use 입니다 if the base verb ends in a vowel, and 씁니다 if the base verb ends in a consonant. The same thing is true for the question form, 입니까? 씁니까? So let's practice speaking formally. In other words, this is a terminating ending connected to the stem of the verb or adjective and represents a formal exaltation. Therefore, it is used when asking or explaining in a formal place, such as a meeting, presentation, and report. Consonant. 씁니까? 씁니다. To eat. 먹다. Will you eat? 먹습니까? I will eat. 먹습니다. Vowel, consonant, 입니까? 입니다. To meet, 만나다. Will you meet? 만납니까? I will meet. 만납니다. To make, 만들다. Will you make? 만듭니까? I will make. 만듭니다. Now, I just said I will and will you, but actually the subject's not mentioned here. So, you might be talking about someone else. Will he eat or he will make something. So, you can check the sentence, the full form later. Let's look at an example of this.
어떻게 오셨습니까? 감기에 걸려서 왔습니다.
How can I help you? I got a cold. Wow, watch out here. If you look at the question carefully, what does it say? Yeah, how did you come here? So you might think it means, did you take the bus or some other way that you traveled? But really it means, what is the reason you have for being here today? What brought you here? So the answer is talking about sickness. I got a cold. What's the place? Yeah, it's probably a doctor's office. That's a formal situation. Someone is working professionally, and if you are the visitor, you can use this formal expression, 입니까, 씁니까, or 입니다, 씁니다. And let's look at another way.
지금부터 다음 회의 일정을 말씀드리겠습니다.
From now on, let me tell you about the schedule for the next meeting. What is the situation? It's probably a presentation at some kind of conference. So, how was this ending used? 드리겠습니다. Right. Do you remember tell me in Korean? We learned it a little while ago. 말씀하세요. Good. But here, the person will speak. The person will tell others. So, the verb is very long. 말씀드리겠습니다. Why don't you count that? 말씀드리겠습니다. How many syllables? 8. Good. So don't think every word in Korean is short. There are some very long words too. By the way, if you want to use a noun instead to ask what someone's job or nationality is, use 입니다 as we learned before. In other words, when combined with a noun, it is used in the form of noun plus 입니다.
저분이 우리 사장님입니다.
He is our president. What's the word for president here? 사장님. Good.
27과 1. 대화를 듣고 질문에 알맞은 것을 고르십시오.
수지 씨, 근무 시간에 어디에 갔다 왔어요?
죄송해요, 반장님. 점심 먹고 속이 너무 안 좋아서 휴게실에서 좀 쉬었어요.
많이 아프면 일찍 들어가서 약 먹고 좀 쉬도록 해요.
네, 반장님. 그렇게 할게요. 감사합니다. 여자는 대화 후에 무엇을 할 겁니까?